All right.
You see, you like the pumpkin variety back there,
I do like the pumpkin variety. Hey, happy Halloween, by the way. Great shirt.
Hey, that's
I
tis the season.
I am terrible. I had breakfast with my dad today and I was like, God, I am not in the festive Halloween mood. But you look good though, Joe. You look
There we
good.
go. Here we go.
All right, hey, well, I'm not going to dive too much into the Fed recap. We did a video yesterday. There's a link in the email that just went out. If anybody wants to watch that, we do a 3 or 4 minute video on what happened with the Fed. But one thing I want to read, I've read this week. So Inside Mortgage Finance came out, and they were reporting that the FHFA is discussing and considering some rollbacks on some LLPAs. And
Which are loan level pricing adjustments that hits to the rate, right? Hits
Yep.
to the rate.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, right now when we price out like a second home or something like that, back in the day we could get the same rate as a purchase for a second home. And now because of LLPAs, the rates for a second home are like the same as investment property. So I thought that was kind of interesting. That would definitely help our industry and the consumer if they did roll back some of those LLPAs. Um, a couple of other things this morning, there was a couple Fed governors coming out. They were very hawkish, meaning, they actually, one of them didn't want to have any cuts this time, and now they're talking about December and not having any cuts. So, we're still getting some chatter out there from the Fed, and one of the members is not a voting member, so whatever that person says, they can't vote in December. But just goes to show you that there's a lot more uncertainty and conflicting views within the Fed. Um, and then the other thing, Joe, before we toss it over to you for rates, so obviously with this government shutdown, I think it's really starting to impact just the overall economy. And starting tomorrow is when 42 million Americans will lose SNAP. SNAP is basically the food stamps and everything like that. And so there's a little bit of chatter about when that truly affects 42 million people starting tomorrow. Is that going to trigger the government, both sides, to come
They
together
need to figure it out.
to
Yeah.
figure it out? So hopefully, it sucks that it has to come to that to actually start getting some going. But I think that's something to watch for early next week, going into November. Do these snap roll-offs start to light a fire under some of these politicians? So that is my report, Joe. And let me
Yeah.
send it
And
over.
while you're pulling up the rates, I did speak to an agent yesterday who does, prevalent in listings
Yeah.
and says, a couple weeks ago they're just sitting right now and there's not a lot of activity. And he brought up, he's like, a lot of people are kind of just in a wait and see mode with the government shutdown right now. We have some people that were going to buy and then took themselves out of the buyer pool till next year because their job may be affected more than they thought by the government shutdown and so on and so forth. So it
Yeah.
really is starting to affect more and more people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, rates today. So as you can see from Murphy's rate sheet here, 6% for a regular 30-year fix, not being a first-time home buyer, and if you're over the 100% AMI area and median income limit. You can get a 15-year fixed at 5.375 right now, and a jumbo 30 years in the 6.25 to 6.375 range. These are all assuming good credit, 550 type purchase prices.
And
Um,
one thing real quick, Joe, is like the
yeah,
conventional stayed pretty steady after the move, with rates moving up after the Fed. I'll let you continue on with the government loans as those popped up, but just it was interesting that they were still
yep.
pricing out fairly well on the conventional 30-year fixed.
And this is us sharpening the pencil a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, they stayed fairly flat. They got up and then they kind of rebounded a little bit and kind of did one of these a little
Yep.
bit. So FHA 3.5% down is at 5.5%. I think that went up a scotch.
Yep.
And the VA loan was zero down is at 5.625. I think both of those may have went up an eighth of a point, but
Yeah.
pretty close. And if you want to buy an investment purchase, 20% down is at 6.875. If you do 25% down, you're at 6.625. So both of those went up slightly.
Yep.
In regards to refinances, you can do a rate and term refinance, meaning no cash out, to a total of 70% loan to value, is at 6% flat today.
Okay.
If you go to 80%, it's at 6.125. So you're not trying to take cash out, you can get right there around six. Um, if you're doing cash out on a primary to 70% total loan to value, you'd be at 6.125, so barely a hit for that. But if
Hmm.
you go to 80, you're at 6.49.
Okay.
So you go up a little bit. Last one, cash out on an investment property, 70% loan to value, you're at 6.375. If you want to go to 75, add another quarter at 6.625.
Joe, question for you. What these are all single family homes. Condo, what are those about a quarter higher these days, you think, on the condo side of things?
Eighth or a quarter,
Okay.
depending on the investor and the
Okay.
loan to value. Yeah.
Okay. So just I just want to make a
Um,
note on the condo
yep.
side of things.
Yep. And then now, but surprisingly, if it's a townhome, then there's generally not an extra hit for that.
Yep.
And a lot of people, townhomes and condos are kind of synonymous, but they're slightly different the way the lender looks at it and the way they manage the HOA.
And those are LLPAs that hit the condo rate.
LLPAs, once
Hey,
again.
hey,
Yep.
hey, I went to school. You're a good teacher.
That's cool. And besides Halloween, happy Halloween, by the
Yeah,
way. Got the pumpkins and the orange shirt for you, Murph.
you're looking good, buddy.
Happy National Magic Day. Magic Day seems good with Halloween.
Yeah.
And happy National Caramel Apple Day. One of my neighbors hands out caramel apples to all the kids trick or treating.
Really?
Uh, and I bet that's a nightmare in the kitchen.
How's that kitchen look at the end of Halloween?
Oh, brutal, brutal.
Pretty
Um,
good though.
happy 62nd birthday to actor Rob Schneider.
Oh, okay. Man, grew up
Classic
with Rob
Rob.
Schneider in high school. Yep.
Yes. And happy 58th birthday to Vanilla Ice. Also a classic in high school.
I would say that's a 10 out of 10 day for birthdays. When we got Vanilla
Yep.
Ice and Rob Schneider, we're not
That's a good
mentioning
day of
TikTok
birthdays. That's
stars.
a good day of birthdays.
Pretty good, Joe. Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty
All
good.
right. Well,
Pretty
hey,
good.
you have a great time with Haley tonight. I know we're going to take the little guy out.
Yeah, have fun with Chase trick or
Yeah,
treating, and everybody be safe out there. Halloween can be a little crazy, but have fun.
I love it. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Take care.